My man.
Social media on now.
Oh, really?
My camera there. It's under here. You good?
I'm good. We're good.
Pregame fans, let's say,
Hey, boy, Alan made it.
to switch!
Oh, your boy?
My boy.
This have nothing to do with last year, just a whole new year, whole new team.
We've been working extremely hard ever since November, and we've all spoke about this moment.
This year's team is focused, determined.
Best chemistry, everybody gets along. I think it's the best team I ever played on.
I feel great to be with these group of guys. Everybody here is very unselfish.
I feel like it's one of the best teams I've played on my entire career.
It's going to be an even match, but I think we got to keep them off the offensive boards, play tough defense. That's how we're going to win every game.
You know they have a lot of great scorers. You just have to match their toughness day in and day out.
Either win or go home. It's a lot more pressure. I think you just gotta prepare like it's any other game.
We earned it. Nothing was given to us.
We all came here with a purpose and trying to prove something.
Just ready to go.
Chose us. Pioneers started on my corner like the cold crush. Saying live fast and die young is what they told us. The way that they mold us, perfect way they showed us. Showed me how to burn the block down before it slows up. Before the window of opportunity closes up. I saw, I conquered, I'm ball. Yeah, I saw, I conquered, I'm ball. Yeah, yo, we should get them, so I got them all. Yeah, and turn this bitch into a
Shoot! And the foul! Wow! Great pass. What a finish by Billy White.
it love in all our signs command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Having a mic on is a point there, Mish. Is this on or what?
One of the things I wanted to recognize first tonight was our referee of the year. John, come on, please. If you follow basketball and you follow the NBL, you hear about the things they don't like about the refs. And they've had 75 years to get it right. We've had 5 years, but I think this is the best year we've had with our referees, and John did the best job of everybody. So please give him a welcome. Next, with the owners of the Hurricanes, please come out. Andre, John, Mike, come on up. Is the gentleman going to please? Middle of the summer, Halifax didn't have a team. These guys got 25 people together in diverse backgrounds across the city. Something that's probably never been done before in pro sports. And in a matter of time, within 45 days, got them ready to make an announcement that they were going to have a basketball team back this year. So we're giving this to me. I know the city of Halifax Station, and I know the police station even more. Thank you so much for keeping us going. Appreciate it.
And welcome everyone inside Scotiabank Center in beautiful downtown Halifax, Nova Scotia for Game 2 of the National Basketball League of Canada Championship Finals between the Central Division champions, the London Lightning, versus the Atlantic Division champions, the Halifax Hurricanes. I'm Vince Williams, and joining me tonight on the live stream, along with television broadcasting coast to coast in Canada on Eastlink TV, and as well as worldwide on the Hurricanes YouTube channel, the NBL Canada's Chief Communications Officer, Audley Stevensons. Game 1 saw the Lightning get off to some consistent shooting in the first 24 minutes and then timely defensive stops down the stretch to capture that win, as well as some great buckets as well for the Hurricanes in Game 1. They make no excuses for their play despite that the 2-week layoff. They know now that they can't afford to go 2 games to none heading back to London for games 3, 4, and 5. So it's a must-win situation for them tonight. Tonight's starters for the London Lightning. Number 9, Hakeem Scott. Number 10, Warren Ward. Number 15, Garrett Williamson. Number 21, Stephen Maxwell. Number 25, Akeem Wright. And for the Hurricanes, number 5, Joel Friesen. Number 12, Clint Scales. Number 22, Ronaldo Dixon. Number 25, Shane Gibson. And number 24, Kyle Hunt. Tonight's officials, the crew chief, the referee of the year, John Hunt, Ryan Lutz, and Brent Stocker. So we're just about ready to go here for game number 2 of the championship finals. And the tap's controlled by the Hurricanes. Clint Scales, closely guarded by Williamson. Inside to Dixon. Dixon, the desperation shot, no good. The putback is good for Kyle Hunt. So a good start right off the bat in the first possession for the Hurricanes.
Much agreed. The Bigs got to attack like they did Kyle Hunt, put it on the putback.
Ward now. To right, back to Ward. Closely guarded by Gibson. Ward trying to back down Gibson. Fade away. Shot short. Rebound by Scott, and Scott's fouled but in the attempt with the putback, and it looks like it's going to go on number 24, Kyle Hunt. That's his first, team's first.
In the early going, you can feel the difference in the energy, Vince, and quite frankly, the Halifax Hurricanes have to come have a different start than they did last night.
Absolutely. The Hurricanes off to a slow start. It was consistent, though, in the first quarter.
Sure.
After the first 12 minutes, they were tied 23-23.
Right.
But you could see the pace.
Absolutely.
And the tempo was dictated by the Lightning.
This is a Game 7 for the Halifax Hurricanes, and the fact that we're sitting at a Game 2 tells you how big this is.
It's a must-win situation. And Scott knocks down both.
Nice to see you, by the way. What's up, man?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
I'm chilling, man.
So it's 2-2. Just about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Gibson fires for 3. Shots no good. Rebound by Dixon. Kick back out. Clint Scales now with control. Inside to Hunt.
Size mismatch. Got a smaller Williamson on him.
Friesen's for 3. Good. Bang! And he connects from downtown Yarmouth, Nova Scotia.
Great connection.
Timely shooting by the Hurricanes as they struggled from three-point range in game number 1, Audrey.
Well, it's nice to see them get themselves going early. And why not Joe Friesen with another one?
Second attempt's no good. Rebounds controlled by Ward. Lightning now looking to attack. Coming back the other way. And Stephen Maxwell with the finish in transition. Maxwell was very effective in game 1, getting into the open floor and getting easy baskets, attacking the rim.
Murdering the rim, I might add. Murdering the rim.
Inside to Kyle Hunt. Hunt back out to Friesen. Swings at the Clint Scales. Looking inside to Hunt. Hunt trying to take Maxwell off the dribble. A little height differential there. A little bit of a mismatch as Stephen Maxwell, a smaller power forward, is at a little bit of a height disadvantage when it comes to that matchup.
It's maximizing the things that work in your favor. Take advantage of them.
So Hunt with 4 points on tonight.
Floater doesn't drop.
Rebound by Friesen. Clint Scales looking to push it now. Clint Scales in the middle of the court. Gives it to Friesen. Friesen's wide open.
Same
he fires.
spot.
Shot's no good. So Friesen struggling a little bit. He's 1 for 3, as you mentioned.
He wanted that one.
Now he's going to get some wide open looks. He's got to knock them down, though.
Sure.
Ward inside the Scott, and Scott finishes.
I don't know how Akeem Scott got that one off.
The smallest man on the court seems to find his way attacking the rim. He seems to be around the ball quite often, offensively as well as defensively.
Absolutely.
Had some timely steals in last night's game.
That's why they brought him here.
In the fourth quarter. 7-6 now, Hurricanes lead. Just over 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hunt once again.
Great move.
And Hunt is once again effective inside the painted area, attacking the rim.
Very patient move on the inside.
And Hunt has 6 of the 9 points the Hurricanes have thus far. Williamson, closely guarded by Dixon, and he's called for the reach-in.
A little bit aggressive on the outside there. Just a bit.
So Ronaldo Dixon getting the start tonight, as Billy White, the regular starters, would probably be called upon to do some reserve duty as he sustained some sort of injury to the face last night.
Protective mask and all. Third quarter of game one, he got hit in the nose. It's broken, but he's going to be the trooper and stay out there.
Scott now fires for three. Shots too strong. Kicked around, last touch by the Lightning, and it'll be Hurricanes possession.
Again, the energy is very different for the Halifax Hurricanes tonight.
Clint Scales with a beautiful spin move with the right hand. Can't get it to go, but the putback is there. Kyle Hunt continued to be very active and aggressive on the offensive board.
Well, what I like about this is, first off, Kyle Hunt was actually quite active last night in the early going, but he tapered off. So the start is great. I want to see how long he sustains it. I'm hoping that he does.
And how do you attribute that?
Well, you see, it goes back to the question we've been talking about. Is it the rust or is it rest? I mean, what is it? Like, was he getting his wind? I don't know, but he did taper off. And let's see if he sustains this. Missed free throws was big last night. Kyle Hunt misses the first one.
Yeah, there are a lot of missed free throws and opportunities for the Hurricanes missed last night.
Sure.
Not handling the basketball. The assist-turnover ratio a little too high. Uncharacteristic for this team that takes care of the basketball, especially with the guy that handles the rock predominantly the time, Clint Scales, who led the league in assist and turnover ratio.
He fought that one.
Keem Scott too strong, can't get the shot to go, but they get that life as his last touch by the Hurricanes.
I'm continually impressed at the way he's able to get his shots off in traffic for a little guy.
Continuing to be very aggressive. The smallest man on the court. Ward fires. Shots
Bam.
good. Bang, and he connects.
The Ottawa Gigi, the former Ottawa Gigi from downtown.
Sweet stroke by Warren Ward. And Clint Scales answers back with the left hand strong to the bucket.
Over-aggressive play by Garrett Williamson, so he took advantage.
Williamson attacks the other way. As you can see, both teams looking to push the pace on every made basket or every missed basket.
This is what it has to be. This is the pace that they're going for. Both teams have the horses that can run, so why not use them?
Williamson will go to the line to shoot two. As you can see in the replay, drawing the contact on number 24. That's Kyle Hunt. It's his second, team's third. 7:53 left in the first quarter. Hurricanes continue.
Goodness.
I thought you would be the one that
No,
would
you know
say
what?
that.
I've been biting my tongue every.
Trying.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I'll get that one out. That's one for me, and we're not taking count.
All right.
So he's able to knock down the second. 1 point lead for the Hurricanes. Inside the Hunt, kicked around.
On the floor, right?
Friesen comes up with it.
On the floor.
Dixon with the easy bucket.
That's the hustle and grind we want to see. Joel Friesen on the floor, sacrificing himself for the hoop to get to his teammates.
So the 50-50 balls that we see.
Wow.
Beautiful alley-oop feed by Ward.
We talked about Stephen Maxwell. He just throw it up there. He'll go get it, and he did just there.
Maxwell, very athletic, 6'7", 220 pounds from Cal State Northridge. Averaged 17 points per game and 11 rebounds. The Rookie of the Year in the National Basketball League of Canada.
You got it. Doing what he does. We've seen him on many occasions do that for the London Lightning and really electrify the crowd at Bud Gardens.
Hurricanes coming back the other way as Kyle Hunt was fouled going towards the rim there, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. Hunt being very active offensively and aggressive inside that painted area tonight.
Yep.
You spoke about that aggressiveness.
This is what we got to see. This is what we've got to see.
Hunt knocks down both. So Hunt off to a great start offensively. 9 points on the night,
Absolutely.
3 for 4 from the field.
Great minutes out of Kyle Hunt.
As Mike Glover checks in for the first time for the Canes.
If you're Coach Hugo Lopez, you're quite pleased with what you saw out of Hunt, and now you go to Glover and want to see that intensity sustained inside.
The sixth man of the year. Williamson, easy bucket and reverse layup. A lot of those easy buckets in the early going last night in game one.
Well, what you saw there, Mike Glover came up to help. There was no rotation on defense, and backdoor found the easy lay-in for Ryan Anderson.
Clint Scales attacking the rim with the floater. Can't get it to go. Rebounds there by Glover. Through the contact and one, and he'll go to the line to finish that and one.
Mike Glover, the beast, doing what he does. And this again, we talked about the advantages. Going back to game one, you're on the inside, you're bigger, everyone recognizes that. So take advantage of that. Maximize that.
Warren Ward not doing a good job of blocking out that big body and Mike Glover.
Well, good luck to you.
Glover doesn't capitalize on the N1, and another missed opportunity from the charity stripe for the Hurricanes.
We'll keep tally with the free throw situation.
Williamson now trying to back down Clint Scales, and Clint Scales looks like he's called for the reach. Much to the chagrin of the Hurricane faithful. So it's 18-15, 6:30 left in the first quarter, and Williamson will go to the line to shoot two.
The things you hear in the first row.
He knocks down the first.
Fans are great, aren't they?
They're definitely part of the game in all the arenas around this league. And he knocks down the second. The Lightning now, pretty good at the free throw line. They were outstanding in game number one, as Ward will go to the bench and Ryan Anderson checks in for the first time for the Lightning. Clint Scales, closely guarded by Williamson. One of the matchups that we're going to have to take a close look at tonight is the guard play between these two teams. Clint Scales once again.
And we've seen him do that again. You know what? He did that last night, and he's looking to do the same. He's just a dangerous point guard. Keeps that ball active, that dribble alive, and there you go. A guy that's been quiet so far is Akeem Wright. We saw him go off.
Scott fires, and bang, he connects.
We saw Akeem Wright go off 17 first half points last night. Quiet tonight so far.
So Scott answering on the other end for the Lightning. Friesen.
Joel attacking.
Driving hard to the cup, and he is fouled by Anderson. So Friesen will shoot two. And we have a timeout on the floor, and it looks like Ed Horton's looking to check in for the first time for the Lightning. So at 6:03 left in the first quarter, the Hurricanes lead by 3, it's a tie game, 20-20.
Stuck in a cell contract you can't get out of?
So both teams looking to continue to be very aggressive there, Audley, in this first quarter.
Well, this is the kind of start that Halifax needed. They weren't happy with what they did last night. And watching this, you feel a different energy. You feel the pace is more to what they're liking. And again, one of their advantages is having bigs that are athletic. Bigs that can run up and down the floor. And you've seen that tonight. They can certainly keep up. And the Windsor's, that was my slip. London has no problem.
1-1.
Well, we're keeping score. Now we're keeping score. When you mess up, we don't keep score. But when I mess up, we keep score.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Well, for those watching at home, it's 1-1. But as I was saying, London being as quick and as fast as they are, they've got no problem as well running, and they can do this as well. So I think from a fan's perspective, this would be a very entertaining matchup.
So game two here. Well underway at Scotiabank Center. They're just joining us. We are live across the web on the live stream, the YouTube channel of the Halifax Hurricanes, as well as live coast to coast on Eastlink TV. Vince Williams and Audley Stevenson with the call courtside for game number 2.
We're doing it. Thanks for having me, my man.
So coming out of the timeout, thanks for joining us.
Well, hey.
We're always happy to see you and always happy to have you on board.
Well, I'm glad to be here. Sometimes the seat's filled. I can't get in, so.
Well, it's vacant tonight.
All right.
And you're here. You're feeling it.
How about this? We'll worry game by game. How's that?
Absolutely.
We're game to game.
So Friesen will go to the line to shoot 2. Joel Friesen, 6'4", 195 pounds, from the University of Alberta, knocks down both. And he checks out. Coming in for the first time is number 14. That's Cameron Bennerman.
That's it.
6'4", 205 pounds, from North Carolina State.
Well, with this pace, they're going to need more bodies to keep up. Guys need a blow.
Horton now, closely guarded by Gibson. Inside to Wright. Wright trying to back down Dixon. Kick back outside to Horton. He swings it. Scott fires for three, in and out, and rebound by Gibson.
I like the fact that Akeem Wright didn't force that to try and find his game. Took his time and had patience.
So right now, Akeem Wright being held in check by the Hurricane defense. He went off in that first 12 minutes. 17 in the first 24 in game number 1.
Watching Mike Glover and watching how he positioned himself to get open on the pick and roll is fantastic. And again, clearly, Coach Hugo has a game plan, and that is to force feed the bigs.
Definitely got to get the ball inside if Halifax is going to be successful. They can knock it down from 23 feet out, but it all starts by getting the ball inside, that inside presence.
That's it.
It started with Kyle Hunt. Now they're trying to continue it with Mike Glover. He misses the first. Checking into the game for the first time for the Lightning, Marcus Capers, and Akeem Wright will go to the bench. 23-20, just over 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Scott controlling the basketball. Looking for the screen, splits the defense, inside, back outside, Horton fires, and bang, he connects for three.
He definitely did. Good rotation. You like the ball movement. An open three for Mr. Ed Horton.
Good inside-outside possession there on that last trip by the Lightning. And we got a foul call off the ball, and it looks like it's on number 9, Hakeem Scott. Scott will go to the bench as Nick Okori will check in for the first time for the Lightning, and Ronaldo Dixon will go to the bench for the Hurricanes. And for the first time, Billy White, sporting that protective gear on the face, will check in for the first time.
I almost didn't recognize him.
And a beautiful feed on the inbound.
Great play call.
Shane Gibson.
And Shane Gibson, that's his first hoop. So, again, shooters sometimes need to see the ball go in. Maybe that'll get him going.
And it couldn't have been an easier one.
No. Ed Horton's feeling it.
Fires for three.
Why not?
Bang.
Why not?
Connects once again.
Why not?
Ed Horton 2 for 2 coming off the bench, knocking down threes, and that seems to be the game for the Lightning.
They are one of the top 3-point shooting teams in the league, so why not?
Inside once again, the Glover. Glover jaws the double team, and he's called for too many steps. So the Lightning off to the hot shooting once again in the first 12 minutes. 4 for 6 from downtown. On the other side, the Hurricanes 1 for 4. All 4 shots coming from Joel Friesen as he was able to knock down the first. Horton now. Glover cut him off going towards the rim. Gives it to Maxwell, and it's last touch by Glover. And it will remain Lightning possession with 7 seconds on the shot clock. 3:48 on the game. As Justin Johnson checks into the game for the first time for the Hurricanes.
Another guy that needs to get himself going early.
Corey hesitating, trying to back down Johnson. Nice fake spin.
With the dream shake.
Beautiful spin move and finger roll at the rim. Nick Okori, no stranger of the Scotiabank Center.
Not at all.
As he played in the Atlantic Division with the Island Storm. Now Okori trying to guard White out in space.
Great ball movement so far around the horn.
As it looks like the Lightning are in a 2-3 zone, matchup zone. Jump shots no good by Johnson, rebound by Okori. And getting back in transition is Billy White, something that we didn't see a lot last night in game number 1 by the Hurricanes.
The mask doesn't seem to be bothering Mr. White at all, and Justin Johnson with the finish.
As you mentioned, right on cue, Justin Johnson getting into the act, driving to the rim.
He needed that one. He needed that one.
And Horton once again answering, coming right back with a beautiful left-hand finish at the rim.
That's a quick 8 points for Mr. Horton.
So the bench coming up big in this first 12 minutes for the Lightning. 3 balls too strong by Billy White. Last touch by the Canes, and it will be Lightning possession.
Blame the mask. Blame the mask. See, Billy White's in a good situation here. He can blame the mask if anything goes wrong. Great move by Justin Johnson on the replay on the big board.
Just over 2:30 to go here in quarter number one. Lightning still leading. Anderson fires, but that shot's no good. 3-point lead and a 3-point deficit for the Canes. Clint Scales trying to back down Horton. Looking for a screen by Glover. Swings it to Johnson now. Johnson surveying. He'll attack the rim on Okori. Draws the contact and fights through the contact.
That's it.
Beautiful strength and control of the body by Justin Johnson as we take a look at the replay here. Good hesitation, crossover, first step, explosive move.
It was very explosive, and you know the contact was coming.
The back off the window.
You know the London bench is arguing it should have been offensive.
Justin Johnson finishes the 3-point play, and he has 5 on tonight. We got a stop in the play here, and we have a blocking call, and that's on number 12, Clint Scales. That's his second, team's 5th. So Coach Lopez goes to the bench once again, and Friesen checks back in, and Clint Scales will go to the bench with 2 personals. Anderson will inbound the ball for the Lightning. Back to Anderson. He fires, and he connects.
Ryan Anderson from downtown.
Anderson knocking down that triple.
We saw him in the fourth quarter of last night's game make some big shots, and he's continuing it as he does best.
So that's number 5 on the evening for the Lightning. 5 for 8 from downtown.
Travel. He picked it up. You know, I think it's a function of the defensive putting the pressure on early, and you got to be careful not to shuffle those puppies.
Horton now crosses the timeline, closely guarded by Johnson.
Just over $1:30 left
Corey
in the first
inside
quarter.
Capers. Capers can't get the shot to go. Reverse is no good. The lobs there.
Good
Kick
save.
back out to Bennerman. Bennerman driving towards the basket, picks up the contact, and it looks like it's going to go against Ed Horton on the blocking call. So Horton unable to move his feet and draw the charge as Bennerman was able to cross him over and get to the lane.
It's that attacking that we were talking about earlier. They got to keep going at the hole and keep creating pressure and picking up fouls. That's what we're doing here. Picking up fouls, stopping the clock, shooting some free throws. Got to hit them, right, though?
Bennerman makes the first. 2-point lead for the Lightning. Game number 2.
That's what it is.
And he knocks down the second. So Bennerman, perfect from the charity stripe thus far. 1-point lead now.
$1:20, just under $1:20 left in the first quarter.
Right, closely guarded by White. Anderson looking for the screen, gives it to Okori. Corey. And he draws the foul.
Kind of created that a little bit, made something happen, put the refs in a situation where they had to call it.
25 feet out as he was able to get Joe Friesen to cut underneath him. So Okori will go to the line to shoot 3. 1:03 left in the first quarter. Lightning leading by 1. So a good up fake and a fade jumper from distance, but it looks like we call it 3 from here. But on the floor, they might have changed it.
I think they did.
They got it right. As if it was first initially called as
it was called a 3.
It
was called a 2 initially, wasn't it? Looks like it was. There's some confusion here, but the refs are saying, no, it's 2.
Definitely got it right as Okori knocks down the second.
He was 4 feet behind the line. He was 4 feet behind.
There we go.
It's the orange line, not the blue line.
There we go. Kyle Julius is setting it straight for us. 4 feet behind the line, as he said.
And Okori knocks down the third. So a 3-point lead, just over a minute left in the first quarter. Lightning lead. Johnson, closely guarded by Okori, swings it to Friesen. Friesen looking for the screen, but he goes left, driving hard and finishes at the rim.
Again, more of that attacking, more of that putting pressure on the defenders.
Ryan Anderson opening up that left-hand drive to Joel Friesen, who is a natural left-hander. Wright fires for 3. It's too strong and off the rim. And Keem Wright not getting a lot of opportunities at some good shots this first quarter.
The mismatch down low. Nickel Corey's got Mike Glover now.
As the Lightning are in a 2-3 matchup zone, and Justin Johnson beats it with the mid-range jumper.
And that's how you beat the zone. You find the seams and you attack them. What we saw Justin Johnson do. 8 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Johnson has 7 on the night. Horton fires.
Wow.
Just mentioned he's looking for some contact as Mike Glover closes out strong defensively and forces the long shot from distance. And after one, the first 12 minutes in the books in game number 2, the Hurricanes up by 1, 36-35.
Sweet.
Oh, the ups of downsizing to a Killam. Sweet. Visit killamliving.com.
Sweet.
Every day can be greater than the one before it. When we're pushed to think big, moved to try harder, do better. When we do more than just write tests, we test ourselves. And one day, those quiet moments lead to something big, something amazing. The next big step and the next open door. All thanks to the small victories that shape us. Discover all you'll do at Dalhousie.
So, welcome back to the Scotiabank Center. For the viewers from coast to coast, welcome inside game number 2. If you're watching on Eastlink TV from coast to coast, we welcome you to the YouTube channel of the Halifax Hurricanes for game number 2 of the National Basketball League of Canada Championship Finals. After 12 minutes in the books, the Hurricanes lead 36-35. And the Lightning with possession to start the second quarter here. Right, the Capers. Back to Corey. Corey fires, and he connects from downtown. As Nick Corey knocks down another triple. Number 6 now on the evening. 6 for 11 from beyond 23 feet and out for the Lightning. White now trying to go one-on-one against Capers. Baseline, and he steps on the end line, and that'll be a turnover for the Hurricanes. The Lightning shooting 52% in that first 12 minutes, oddly, and 50% from downtown.
Great start if you're a Halifax Hurricanes fan, that's for sure.
With the Hurricanes on the other side shooting 60% from the field. And they were able to knock down some free throws as well, shooting 75%, going 9 for 12. A key in game number 1. Friesen fires.
Joe Friesen likes that spot.
Bang! He connects.
That's his 4th shot from that spot. He's gone 50%.
From Pictou County, Nova Scotia.
It's a nice place, by the way, Pictou. I like it down there.
And that's number 2 on the evening for Joel Friesen. Right. Back outside the Scott. Scott beats Johnson off the dribble, and a nice finish at the rim.
Again, the way he contorts his body around the rim to get his shots off.
With a quick first step. He finishes around the rim, and he has 9 on the night now for the Lightning.
Billy White going to work downtown.
White.
See, London
trying to deal with Capers.
London is committed to the double team and they have to, quite frankly, because it's a mismatch almost every possession.
They give different looks. Sometimes it comes early, sometimes it comes late. But you got to know that the bigs of the Hurricanes are going to have that double team coming. Whether it's going to be late or not, the decision making has to be key.
I think the timing of the double team is also big too. I mean, if you got a big out in the perimeter, let him do what he's doing.
Turnover on the other end, so we got consecutive turnovers by both teams as miscommunication in the connection of that long run-out pass between Nick Okori and Akeem Scott.
And this is what they've got to bring for the home crowd here. They got to give the crowd something to cheer about to get them behind them.
1 point lead for the Lightning, 40-39. Johnson trying to go inside. Bennerman fires for three, no good.
Wow.
And a good box-out clear-out, if you may,
Mike Glover shed Akeem right off of him like he was a rag doll.
And Glover has 5 on the evening, 2 for 2 from the field. Okori now, off the screen, and he throws it out of bounds. It's a miscommunication on the rollback off of that screen between him and Marcus Capers.
Good timeout by the London Lightning here to organize themselves.
As you can see in that replay, a good block out and clear out by Mike Glover using his big body. He's been doing it all season long, oddly.
He shed him like a rag doll, like he wasn't even near her.
So we have a timeout on the floor, 41-40, Halifax with a slim 1 point lead.
But again, I'm going back to the energy. And I know last time we talked about the tempo of the game, how important that was. Tonight I'm feeling that tempo really nicely for the Halifax Hurricanes' sake because they've got to. They can't afford to sleepwalk through this.
Game number 1, or at this point, Halifax had double digits in turnovers. And a lot of those turnovers were converted by the Lightning.
Absolutely,
Tonight,
as you should.
Story when we're talking assist to turnover ratio. We have, it's double in the department of the plus side. 6 assists and 3 turnovers for the Hurricanes. 10 assists and 4 turnovers for the Lightning. So both teams doing a good job
taking care of the rock. Got to take care of the rock, man. You got to. You can't afford to throw it away, give possessions away, and give points away.
And the Hurricanes with a huge advantage, a 10-point advantage with points in the paint, 24-14. Second chance points as well, 11-7. So the analytics on the side of both teams, but it's relatively close. This was the point in last night's game where the Lightning got off to a good start and carried that good start from the second quarter over to the third. Scuffled a little bit in that third quarter, but picked up the defensive pressure and intensity in the fourth to finish it out.
And that's that's what you've got to do. You've got to pick up that intensity if you're looking to be successful here in game 2.
So Justin Johnson now with the rock, and he crosses the timeline, closely guarded by Williamson, who's come back into the game for the Lightning. White, closely guarded by Maxwell, who also checked back in. And Mike Glover's call for too many steps.
Again.
As the Lightning dodge a bullet there as the double team came late by Akeem Scott.
You know, it's interesting. You've got both Stephen Maxwell and Akeem Wright in the game at the same time, again, to contend with the bigs. And not a lineup you see often from the London Lightning.
Ward rises. Shots too strong and rebound by Bennerman. Johnson behind the back to elude Williamson momentarily. Johnson again putting pressure on Williamson. Step back jumper.
He's feeling it. Double J is feeling it.
Jumper is good. Beautiful step back behind the back move by Johnson. And that's his 9th on the night.
Joe Friesen.
Friesen tried to turn it over. Ward corrals it.
London's able to regroup. They got 10 on the shot clock.
Ward rises, fires, and he hits. Another mid-range jumper by Warren Ward.
Got to keep the defense honest.
Ward with 5 on the evening for the Lightning. Johnson closely guarded by Williamson. Williamson just trying to keep him in front of him, but it's a tough task. Johnson fires for 3, shots no good, rebound by Ward. And Lightning will come back the other way. Ward closely guarded by Glover. Swings it to right, inside to Maxwell. Maxwell gained good position. Couldn't catch it, couldn't corral it on the original catch. Gathered it though.
Yep, took his time.
And drew the contact on Mike Glover.
That he did. Glover's not happy. Glover kind of thinks he went straight up. There you go. We got a replay on the board here. There definitely was contact, whether or not Mike Glover likes it or not. There was contact.
And most of the time, anytime a player is called for an infraction, usually don't agree with it.
Most times, you're right. You're right most times.
And Maxwell knocks down the first. Stephen Maxwell, a very strong game offensively in the early going in game number 1. A factor along with Akeem Wright. And he knocks down the second.
1 point game here in the second quarter, 43-44.
Bennerman inside. To Glover. Glover was looking for Friesen. Rolling back without the basketball. And a good cut on the backside by Joel Friesen. And a reaching call on Warren Ward. It's his second foul and team's first. Johnson now. Swings it to Friesen. Friesen fires and bang, and he connects.
Friesen.
All the way from Digby, Nova Scotia.
That's his third on the night, and he's being aggressive and making.
And coming right back and answering for the Lightning is Akeem Scott.
He's known to do that, isn't he?
He gets to the rim quite easily. Once again, he finishes with ease. And inside, a nice feed.
The catch for Mike Glover, there's got to be more pressure. That was a clean catch, no bodies on him. You can't do that.
And Kevin Loisel checking into the game for the first time for the Hurricanes. And Glover with the steal as he reached in. And Johnson coming back the other way, and it looks like Akeem Scott will be called for the blocking foul in transition as Justin Johnson looked to get an easy one in that run out. So good job defensively there by Mike Glover with the quick hands. As Shane Gibson will check back into the game, and Bennerman will go to the bench for the Canes.
You know, Shane Gibson, if there's a guy that the Hugo Lopez would like to see get going, it would have to be him.
Johnson now trying to work his way inside. He swings it to Friesen. Ward closely guarding Friesen. Friesen splits the defense. Left hand, no good. Drew the contact, no foul coming. And Wright will race over the half-court line, and he's fouled. And it looked like a good foul as the Lightning had numbers in transition. But Mike Glover is called for the reaching call. So good foul in transition there by Mike Glover.
Looks like Kevin Loisel picked that one up, actually.
Excuse. Jump shot's no good as Loisel. You're absolutely correct. Bodies almost looked the same.
I'm your wingman, buddy. I'm your wingman. I got your back. I got your back. Shane Gibson, that's what he needs. That's what he needed.
And he connects for 3. Gibson.
Halifax takes a 5-point lead.
Number 1 in 3-point percentage. Field goals, 3-point field goals made and attempts in the league. Williamson inside the Maxwell. A lot of contact between him and Glover. No foul in it.
And I think that's what Mike Glover's got to remember. Stand straight up, hands up in the air. You don't got to move. You're a big body already. We know that. You are going to affect the shot just by your presence. That's all you got to do.
So just over 6 minutes here in the second quarter. Canes lead 51-46. Johnson looking for Gibson coming off the screen. He fires. Shot's no good.
In and out.
Rebound by Scott. Scott racing back up the court. Gives it to Maxwell and finishing at the rim.
You know, when Stephen Maxwell went up, we've seen him do this. I thought he was going to rip the rim down, but the defense made him adjust in there, and he still got the and one.
Maxwell always in the right position when Akeem Scott goes on his one-man fast break.
Sure. That's exactly what it is. Akeem Wright checks back to the bench. Very quiet night for Mr. Wright. And again, we talk about the London Lightning can do, and as we see Steve Maxwell get the and one, they've got so many different bodies. They can afford for guys to have a quiet night because someone else will pick up the slack.
Maxwell, strong second quarter here, along with Hakeem Scott, who has 11. Most of those points going towards the rim and finishing. Layup style. He's been very aggressive offensively as Glover goes to the bench and Dixon checks back in for the game.
Ronald Dixon, more size. They just keep getting bigger and bigger every time he goes to the bench. Veteran Kevin Loisel also in here. In the game. Two-time NBL Canada champ.
Johnson swings it to Friesen. Friesen looking for Gibson coming off multiple screens. Scott doing a good job staying with Gibson. Gibson fires to beat the shot clock and misses everything. So great defensive stop here by the Lightning. Much by the individual defensive play by Hakeem Scott. Doing an outstanding job eluding double screens.
We know the scouting report. They know what it says. They know what they got to do. They know who they got to pay attention to. So credit Hakeem Scott for his defensive intensity.
2-point lead for the Hurricanes here. And we have a foul, and it looks like it's going to be called on Joe Friesen.
Hugo Lopez wanted to travel. Joe Friesen wants the crowd to know he didn't like it either.
And Eric Kibbe checking in the game for the first time for the Lightning. Will go to the line to shoot two as Ed Horton comes back, and Williamson will go to the bench.
Williamson's put in some real decent effort there. I mean, he had to cover guys like Justin Johnson. He had Shane Gibson at one point, Clifford Clinkscales. The guards of Halifax has not made Garrett's night easy.
Taking a second look on that replay, Eric Kibbe might be a beneficiary of a phantom call here.
Phantom calls? No.
As he knocks down both. Tie ball game now, 51-51. Just over 5 minutes in the second quarter to go. Clinkscales looking for Dixon. They can't connect. Last touch by the Canes, and it's a turnover, and it'll be Lightning possession. Scott. Looking for the screen. Now he'll survey. Kibbe with the screen. Kicked out to Kibbe. Kibbe inside. Forced his way in, but a good job defensively by Ronaldo Dixon.
Stand your ground, hands straight up. That's the way to do it.
Shane Gibson now. Fires. Bang! And he connects once again. Gibson, number 2 on the night. From the exact same spot.
He's got to be feeling good about himself.
So Gibson starting to heat up here. And
wow.
Emphatic two-hand finish at the rim.
Boy, did he ever finish.
Came out of nowhere, Stephen Maxwell. Beautiful feed. Pocket pass inside the lane, and Stephen Maxwell rises above the defense. And Gibson answers on the other end.
Shades of Hakeem Scott contorting his body in the air to get the lay-in to fall.
Both teams trading baskets now.
It's picking up again.
3-point lead for the Hurricanes. Okori rises. He fires.
It's picking up again.
And he connects for 3. So Nick Okori once again knocking down another triple. Both of these teams shooting the lights out here.
Speaking of shooting the lights out.
Bang again.
Uh-oh.
Connecting.
Uh-oh.
Back-to-back triples.
Uh-oh. The howitser's been unloaded, my friend.
So not a lot of defense being displayed, and if it is, it's being tough consecutive shots. But the offense is definitely beating the defense of both teams right now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Nick Okori.
So Nick
jumper.
Answer's back?
No good. Rebound
answer.
by Dixon. Gibson takes his time, crossing the timeline, crosses his man over. Lightning move to the basket.
Wow.
And he can't finish at the rim, but he drew the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
What you liked about that, he casually took his time and lulled the defenders
Beautiful
before
hesitation.
he exploded. The hezi was on point.
And That's what you can do. You can see that. Drew the contact on Nikokori, but that's what you do when you knock down multiple threes.
That's it. Well,
the defense have no choice but to close out hard.
And again, a guy of Gibson's ability and range, he can virtually shoot the ball from anywhere on the court, as we saw, about 5 feet behind the three-point line. Consider this. We talked last night about the fact that the Halifax Hurricanes gave up 115 points, and we know they're not successful when they do that. Well, tonight, we're on pace to probably exceed that, but it seems as offense, and that's what we're going to focus on.
Yeah, it's not a world that they want to be in when it comes to defense, so stops are definitely going to have to be key in the next 24 minutes. As you mentioned, they've only given up more than 15 points twice.
That's right.
And both of those were losses.
Both of those were losses, and one was to the London Lightning in the regular season.
Absolutely. So that is a key. One of the part of the storylines mentioned in the post game by Coach Lopez.
That it was. He had that written on the board in the locker room before game 2. 150 points. We don't want to be there. So it'll be an interesting conversation after the game to talk about what's happening in the night's game, because this is not what he wanted.
Now you had an opportunity to go into the locker room. Before game number 2 for tonight. What was the mood? What was the sense that you had of the mood of the players?
They're wearing those T-shirts, all business, and that's exactly what you felt. There wasn't a lot of joking. There wasn't a lot of jovialness going on. It was all business. And a lot of the talk was really about defense. And again, going back to the 115 points, Coach Lopez said, this is not who we are. This is not who we are. We do not give up this much points if we want success.
Well, right now we got an old-fashioned barn burner. Both teams are heating up with some very hot shooting from beyond the arc. The Lightning 7 for 15, and the Hurricanes answering 6 for 14.
Taking a 4-point lead, possibly 5.
Gibson with some very hot shooting in this second quarter. Gibson has 14 on the evening now. Hakeem Scott handles the rock for the Lightning. Looking for Horton coming off the screen. Good job by Johnson cutting him off. Okori now. Swings it to Horton. Horton from deep. And bang, he connects.
Why not?
From Oshawa. That was way out.
That's a former home of the Oshawa Power.
Dixon inside now, double teamed, and its last touch by the Lightning. And it will remain Hurricanes possession, 17 on the shot, 2:07 on the game. 61-59, Hurricanes lead.
This is an exciting basketball game, folks.
And Gibson tried the fancy one-hand alley-oop on the inbound, but he can't get it to go, and racing back down the other way is Hakeem Scott. Scott continuing to be very aggressive on makes and misses with the rock. This guy is, and I mentioned it in the first quarter, this guy is a one-man fast break.
That he is, and I don't know if the listeners at home heard Coach Kyle Julius in the background clapping good tempo. Tempo is something that we talked about, and the importance of having a strong tempo or controlling the tempo, and Hakeem Scott does exactly that.
Scott makes the first of 2. Scott perfect thus far from the charity stripe. And he makes the second, so Scott's got 12 on the evening. And Horton, much to the chagrin of that call, was called for the blocking call on Clint Scales. That's his second, team's 5th. Clint Scales now controlling the ball. Closely guarded once again by Horton. Horton not giving up any ground.
None at all.
Lob pass inside the White. White trying to back down the smaller Scott. Double teamed by Maxwell. Kick back out to Johnson. Back to Clint Scales. Clint Scales knifing inside.
Wow.
And Clint Scales finishing with the left hand off the window.
Great patience down low. The double team came. Billy Wright was able to swing it around. And Clint Scales attacked.
Clint Scales with number 6 on the evening. 2-point lead for the Canes. Wright taking Dixon off the dribble. Loses the handle. Turned over. Johnson racing back the other way for the Canes. Clinkscale swings it to Gibson. Gibson did a good job of controlling the basketball. And a lot of contact between Gibson and Scott. Scott doing a good job selling that charging call.
Boy,
and
oh
you
boy.
can hear it right now, the Scotiabank faithful not happy with that decision.
Let's watch on the replay. Good composure. Watching again at home. You know, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of contact to make him fly that. It was sold quite well, I got to tell you.
Keep Scott doing everything, offensively as well as defensively. And we got a call off the ball and a hold on the Hurricanes. That looks to be on Ronaldo Dixon. That's his third. And the Canes are in the penalty. And the Lightning will shoot the rest of the way. Granted, it's only 56.5 seconds left in this second quarter. Wright knocks down the first. Wright off to a slow start shooting tonight in the first 24 minutes. After 24 in game number 1, he had 17 to lead everybody. But he knocks down the second. And we're all tied up once again, 63-63. Johnson looking for a screen. Johnson tried to knife his way in, swings it to Clinkscale. Clinkscale swings it back inside to Dixon. And Dixon pulls his way to the rim, draws the contact on Okori and finishes.
Good find. Clinkscale has demonstrated great patience on the replay. You'll see here, great patience on the inside. Ronaldo Dixon fights through the contact for the and one.
Ronaldo Dixon with a very fine first 12 minutes in a starting role tonight for the Hurricanes. Dixon finishes the and one. And Joel Friesen will come back now for the Canes as Clinkscale will go to the bench. 39.7 seconds left on the game, 24 on the shot. Lightning now with possession of Corey. And it looks like a full court pressure there by the Canes. Wright fires. Shot's too strong, kicked around, and Johnson comes up with the possession for the Canes. Johnson now.
Seconds.
Differential of 5 seconds on the game and on the shot.
So they'll wind this down.
So Johnson holding here, closely guarded by Scott. Johnson drives, pull up, jumper, no good, too strong. Dixon with the rebound, kicked out to White. White swings it back to Johnson. He's got to hurry, going towards the rim, teardrop, shot's no good.
And drop.
So Johnson couldn't get the teardrop to go to beat the buzzer. And it's a 3-point lead after 24 minutes in the books here in game number 2. 66-63, Hurricanes lead.
When you talk about the kind of output you wanted to start off the game for the Halifax Hurricanes, this is exactly it. On the offensive side, defensively, they still have issues. 63 points in the first half, and this is after giving up 115 points and making a concerted effort that they had to pay attention to defense. Still giving up 63 points is concerning.
So we'll step aside for the halftime break. You were watching game number 2 of the 2016 NBL Canada Basketball Championships.
You feeling good, man?
Finals between the Halifax Hurricanes
I'm feeling good.
and the London Lightning on the Halifax YouTube channel.
Let's do it.
And across Canada, coast to coast on Eastlink TV.
Let's go.
Welcome back inside the Scotiabank Center for game number 2 of the National Basketball League of Canada Championship Finals. between the Halifax Hurricanes and the London Lightning. Broadcasting coast to coast on Eastlink TV and on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel. Vince Williams here, joined by Audley Stevenson, but now for the third, the commissioner, David Magley.
Thanks, Vince, for having me. I appreciate the opportunity, especially knowing that you told me yesterday the reason you like me is because I don't talk as much as Audley.
Just don't tell him that.
No,
right?
We'll keep that our secret.
So, third quarter action here. 3-point lead for the Hurricanes, 66-63. Inbound by the Canes. Shot clock dwindling here. Clint Scales with it. He's got to hurry. Friesen with it now. Looking inside, and it's turned over. Warren Ward picking it off. So not the start for the Hurricanes coming out of the halftime break. Ward, beautiful spin. Can't finish at the rim. Rebound by Hunt. Coming back the other way are the Canes.
Wow.
Nice feed by Clint Scales, and Hunt beating his defender up the floor with the easy bucket.
And great hands by Hunt. That was not an easy pass to catch, and it's just a solid move right there.
Cal Hunt continuing the strong play. Had 9 in the first 24. Now he has 11 on the night. Ward, the nice move and contact, finishing with the finger roll. And you know all about that finger roll as you played in that particular era in the association with George the Iceman Gervin.
Yeah, played is a loose term. I did a lot of watching, so I got to watch that a lot. I don't know if I played much. I played so little, Vince, that the snaps on the sides of my warm-ups rusted shut from never getting in. They'd be like, Magley, you're going in? I'd love to, but I can't get my pants off. It was terrible.
That's more than some of us do and have accomplished in our lifetime. It's a tough league to make. Ward finishes the 3-point play, and it's a 2-point lead now for the Hurricanes, 68-66. Last touch by the Lightning, and it will remain Canes' possession. 10 seconds on the shot. And the early goings here in the third quarter with 10:53 left. Hunt swings it to Friesen. Friesen fires. Bang! And he connects from downtown. Joel Friesen getting the opportunity to shoot from 23 feet out. And he's getting a lot of those looks, and he knocks down another triple.
You know, you could argue that Joel is if he wasn't runner-up, he was maybe tied for Canadian of the Year with Warren Ward. So it's fun to watch those two guys go at it.
And good defensive play the other way. As you mentioned, Joel Friesen, a Canadian product from the University of Alberta. Friesen fires again, can't get it to go. Rebounds corralled by Maxwell. Scott now, one-man fast break into the knife in the heart of the defense. He kicks it out to Wright though. Wright slows it up. Kicks it back out to Scott. Scott fires. Shot's too strong. Rebound by Kyle Hunt. So a nice one and done as the Hurricanes were able to get back in defensive transition and not allow Keem Scott to get to the rim. Clint Scales, closely guarded by Williamson. Hunt now inside on the smaller man, Maxwell. Bullies his way and finishes with the right hand. Kyle Hunt taking full advantage of that matchup down low between him and Stephen Maxwell. Hunt 13 on the evening now. Right, he's way off, misses just about everything, hits the backboard, and the struggles continue offensively. Putback's no good, corralled by the Lightning, and Ward with his long outlet pass to Williamson in transition, and Williamson draws the contact on Friesen, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. So the pace quickening here, back and forth.
Well, it's been, I mean, you're looking at a score that's projected to get into the 120s because you always score more in the fourth quarter typically. So these are two really good teams that are going at it. And it's been a really fun game to watch so far. These guys are bringing it hard.
And Williamson misses the first.
You know, I'd made a comment in yesterday's broadcast that I thought the Halifax Hurricanes were as good as any team any team in North America, not in the NBA, from their last round. And the London people let me know that they just won. Well, that says that London's pretty darn special as well. As, Halifax has an interesting mixture of all positions as well. So both teams are obviously great. Heck of a drive by Cliff Clinkscale that time.
Clinkscale's finishing at the rim, being a little bit more aggressive offensively in the early goings of this third quarter.
They're going to have to meet London's aggression step for step because the Coach Julius has these guys really competing at a high level. Aggression, that's a good term. They're aggressive offense, aggressive defense, they're going at it. And, a lot of it's Akeem Scott's energy, but it starts with the coach, and the coach has these guys going at it.
And that was part of the storyline in last night's game. There's a lot of contact above the neck on Akeem Scott on that drive by Joel Friesen. And they're going to call it a flagrant foul as Joel Friesen is assessed a flagrant 1. And that's his third personal and third team foul. And Akeem Scott will go to the line to shoot 2. Scott knocks down the first. And Scott knocks down the second. (76-68). 8:50 left in the third. Lightning possession here. Akeem Scott now crosses the timeline, closely guarded by Clinkscale. Kicks it out to right. Right swings it over to Ward, about his last touch, and knocked out of bounds by Shane Gibson. So it will remain Lightning possession, 15 on the shot, 8:48 left on the game. Scott swings it to Ward. Ward fires too strong, rebound by Williamson. Second chance opportunity here. Wright trying to back down his defender, can't get it to go. Rebound there, third chance opportunity. Another offensive rebound. Williamson with the putback, draws the contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Now the Hurricanes struggling defensively on this defensive trip down, Commissioner.
Well, it's frustrating for a coach because, you think we've got to get that rebound, but once the guys are out of position, they're out of position the entire series. So it's hard to get the block out because they've already gotten too deep and the ball kept bouncing over their heads. So it wasn't anything for lack of effort. They just got out of place to begin with, and it made it look like they weren't giving enough good effort.
So Garrett Williamson will go to the line to shoot 2. Williamson, the beneficiary of that award that you mentioned, the Canadian Player of the Year.
2 years ago.
This year's, corralled by Warren Ward.
And then
Garrettson, so the London Lightning beneficiary of 2 great Canadian players. Canadian talent. Speak a little bit to that, the Canadian talent, and how is the Canadian talent is able to be part of this league.
Well, Garrett is a Canadian mother, American father, and he went to St. Joseph University, St. Joe's in Philadelphia. Was a nice player there. Garrett and Joel both are Canadians that played in the CIS. And it is really fun to see these Canadians that are able to come out of their hometown schools and their area, this country's university system. The CIS are producing more and more good talent. And then on cue, Ronaldo Dixon's another Canadian that went down and played at New Mexico State. And he's just they're all coming from different directions, but they're all ending up in the same place as pros.
And how important is it to have these guys involved? There is a rule that's in place.
Yeah, there's a rule that we have to have 4, but most teams average 5 through the year. We have there's more Canadians in the NBA than any country besides the U.S. There's more Canadians going to Division I universities to play college basketball out of the Greater Toronto area, the GTA, than New York City. This game is becoming more and more popular in this country, and we need to continue to have the very best Canadians we can represent us, and they're showing well tonight.
So 69. And his last touch And it looks like Wright, and he's not happy with that call, so a turnover here for the Lightning. Racing back the other way, but turned over by Gibson as Maxwell steps in that lane. Scott fires. Bang, and he connects. Akeem Scott from the corner.
Gibson looked like not Gibson. Maxwell looked like a D-back that time, just waiting to bait them to get that. I think that's something you know about, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely look good. Very athletic, undersized power forward, but don't let that height fool you. That guy can get off the floor with the quickness.
Oh, he's a wicked matchup. It's first time Billy's looked comfortable shooting with that mask on all night.
White knocks down the jumper. Scott dials it up again, can't get it to go. Rebound by Gibson. Gibson now crosses over. Scott with the left hand, can't finish. Scott comes up with the rebound, and in transition, looks like a reach-in call on Billy White. Billy White's first and team's fifth. Ed Horton comes back for the Lightning. 80-72, 6:58 left in the third quarter. And Nick Okori will come back for the Lightning as Akeem Scott will go to the bench. Horton now. Looking for the pick and roll. Swings it to Wright, and Wright is just struggling in game number 2. Not having the same game he had in game number 1. Doesn't look comfortable right now. Not having a good night shooting, and lots of turnovers on the other end.
Well, you've got the two best coaches in the league, and you got to assume Coach Lopez is going to make an adjustment from game 1 to game 2, and one of it's going to be how do I get after Akeem Wright. So that's not a shocker.
As Marka Capers comes back in for the Lightning, and the aforementioned Wright will go to the bench. Gibson fires. Bang, and he connects. Shane Gibson continuing to light it up in the hot shooting from beyond the arc. And Williamson answers on the other end for the Lightning. Seems to be every time the Hurricanes knock down a big shot, the Lightning come right back down the other end and up the tempo and score an easy basket.
Yeah, they're not going to let you celebrate too long. They're going to get after you.
Hunt inside, closely guarded, and foul call, the reach-in call on Marcus Capers. Not happy with that call at all. It's Capers.
I think he looked more unhappy with himself. Marcus is a pretty smart guy, and he wasn't.
Probably thought he can get better position with his feet.
He turned sideways, and that's going to hurt you all the time.
83-74, 6:08 left in the third and counting. Gibson off the screen, try to get it inside. It's deflected away and picked up by Horton. And Billy White's call for the reaching foul, and it will remain Lightning possession as Anderson checks back in for the Lightning. Billy White's second and 6th team foul. So a lot of fouls team-wise for the Hurricanes. The next one, the Lightning are in the bonus the rest of the way. So that's part of the storyline right here. Lightning have been very aggressive offensively, getting to the basket. Most of their points coming, by the way, inside that painted area.
Well, and 2 of their 6 fouls are guys that have grabbed people on fast breaks. So they're doing things to try to slow them down, but that's going to put you in a foul position. It's going to not be good. So now they got to play defense. They got to get up and down and play.
So a timeout on the floor. 83-74. Hurricanes continuing to lead here in the third quarter. Strong third quarter for the Hurricanes.
One of the things I just learned is that we've got fans all over the world, including in Mongolia. John McNulty is watching the game, one of the Halifax fans. And that's commitment right there, because I'm pretty confident it's not the same time in Mongolia as it is in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I'm guessing it's about 9-hour difference, but having never been to Mongolia, have had a lot of their beef, but I've never really been there before.
Lots of fans tuning in worldwide on the Halifax Hurricanes YouTube channel, as well as coast to coast in Canada on Eastlink TV.
Hey man, I can only imagine how many people are in London to watch this game, because those folks come out in numbers, and I'm telling you, come Monday, Wednesday, and Friday next week, should there need to be a 5th game, you're going to see big crowds in London, because nobody supports their teams like those guys. It's going to be fun.
They're getting all revved up for games 3, 4, and 5. As we continue here in game number 3, the Lightning winning game number 1 with some impressive shooting down the stretch and defensive play. But tonight, a little bit of a different story, as adjustments had to be made by both sides in game number 2. The Hurricanes shooting much better than they did in game number 1, leading this game 83-74. And fires for 3, and that's Horton once again from distance. Ed Horton, very nice night thus far, shooting that rock from beyond the arc. This Lightning team can shoot the lights out from beyond distance.
They've got just a plethora of guys that can shoot the basketball.
Glenn Scales.
Which Vincent, plethora means a whole lot. Just so you know.
I would imagine that the viewers out there know exactly what
I'm
you're
helping
saying.
you. I mean,
you're not helping me.
I'm pretty certain they know. I'm just
Are you kidding
me?
I'm joking. I forgot the university degree.
University degree in Kansas. We use big words in Kansas.
I didn't go to Kansas.
I did. That's what I'm trying to show off.
Okay.
That's why I didn't.
You're trying to show us that
growing up in Indiana.
Some people say have their thing about a degree, especially from a basketball school such as Kansas. A lot of guys not finishing, but you obviously finished with your degree.
Oh, absolutely. I got my mother, before she passed away, made me promise I'd get my degree, and that was more important than playing ball to her, that's for certain.
So did mine. My mom's still around, but going to university and getting a degree was most important, on the top list of all the demands as a youngster for me by my parents. So they would say the University of Kansas, though, and in that big conference, and you see it now, guys are going to the league and in the association, usually just going for 1 year. Some athletes, they come back and they return and they get that degree because they know how important it is. Life after professional sports.
Well, I was never a great NBA player, but I sure made a lot more money in business than I ever did playing in the NBA, and that was because I was prepared through that. And your education is so vitally important. That's for certain. For these young people, most of our guys are college graduates.
Right.
And what we ask them to do is we go to these schools and we tell the stories to the young people about the importance of education and staying in school and doing something with your life, because it's the antidote to poverty is oftentimes education. And if we want to continue to see our young people be pulled out of the streets into better places, it's not a hoop that's going to do it. It's going to be those books that are going to give them a chance at life.
And the NBL Canada do an outstanding job of promoting that, as every franchise gets out into the community and gets involved and stresses the importance of education.
We will average about 65 to 75 school visits per team this year. I think the Moncton Miracles had over 100. It was incredible, and that's impacting a lot of lives, and that's really what we're all about.
As Johnson knocks one down from beyond the arc and extends the lead to 86-77 then. Okori fires. Off-balance shot's no good, but Williamson's there to bail him out with the putback.
Man, Garrett has been there for almost every time to be the answer so far this quarter. He's been tough.
Williamson. Offensive rebound and put back there. White swings it. Bennerman swings it to Clint Scales. Clint Scales fires. It's short. Rebound by Anderson. Lightning looking to run. Maxwell finishes emphatically at the one-hand jam. And that's what you get out of Stephen Maxwell in transition.
Well, it was like watching a defensive back trying to stop Earl Campbell or somebody. Betterman tried to grab him. He couldn't grab him. He's too strong. And he ran right through that and went down to the court and had a heck of a dunk.
And Maxwell cuts the lead to 5. Maxwell trying to deal with Glover. As Glover was able to split the double team and draw the foul on Maxwell. And he'll go to the line to shoot too. As you can see in the replay, he took off from way out with the left-handed finish, Stephen Maxwell. And on the other end of that replay, the contact drawn by Mike Glover.
So I'm curious, do you think Mike just has no neck or just really big shoulders? Because it looks like that head's just on top of those shoulders.
Well, he's built like a linebacker.
Oh my goodness, we're making a lot of football analogies, but he and Maxwell are just a couple of well-built athletes, and I mean that in a strong possible way. And as Eric Keeby's about to check in, who's equally a strong, tough kid.
Lots of athleticism in this championship finals. As you mentioned, Glover, a very big man. His measurables, 6'8", 215 pounds from Iona.
Yeah, and they're being generous at 215. He's bigger than that. That's for sure. But he's 2 1/4. He's strong as can be.
And Marcus Capers finishes at the rim as he was able to elude Mike Glover. Johnson now crosses the timeline. Swings it to Clinkscales. Clinkscales looking to go back inside the Glover. Glover closely guarded. And nice move on the backside by Bennerman, but Bennerman's blocked on the backside by Capers. Lightning back the other way. And a traveling call on Ryan Anderson as Coach Kyle Julius looking for more ball movement out of the Lightning on that possession.
Yeah, I think Ryan felt he was ready to go and he thought he got grabbed a little bit. But, you know, to your point, they're really good when they move that ball. That was a heck of a block by Marcus Capers. I think he was second in our league behind Anthony Stover this year, and I think he would have set a record for league record with just that's as the 6'5", 6'6", very thin power forward.
And the aforementioned Anthony Stover of the St. John Millrats, the Defensive Player of the Year from the University of California, Los Angeles.
This UCLA center, 7-foot center, it's kind of good for our league to have that kind of talent floating around.
And what's it mean to have those high D1 schools playing in this league? In this league, we look at this league, it's definitely in a development league. It's a great development league in this country, but what does it mean for those top D1 schools in the United States to have players come play here?
Well, I think what's fun is it's fun to see guys from, you know, the University of Ottawa compete against from Michigan State, and North Carolina compete against, you know, Carleton.
You get to see that.
You recognize the basketball players are basketball players, and
universal.
And then you'll see some Division II and NAIA guys that
are very
come
tough
and show people and surprise them. And, you know, I mean, I think sometimes we get enamored with the level of the school, which it shows you how good our guys are. But listen, we're taking the best athletes we can. This kid, we're talking about Stephen Maxwell from Cal State Northridge, played for Reggie Theus.
Right.
And, you know, Kyle Julius found him, and he's just been a heck of a player for him. And you know, you just don't know where you're going to find the next great player.
You can find him anywhere. Now, we're talking finding great players. You have some combines coming up with this league very shortly around the league. Each team and the National Basketball League of Canada will travel throughout the United States with their combines. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we're going to be in 30 cities throughout North America. A couple of them in Canada. And
Anderson knocks down a 3.
We start down in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then go to Albany the next day, the 18th and 19th of June. And then we come back and we're in Boston and South Dakota the 25th and 26th, and it just goes from there every weekend. And we'll see over 1,000 young men, and we're going to continue to make this league stronger and stronger and better known all over North America.
And Joel Friesen connects again from beyond the arc. We got a ball game, folks, as it's only a 3-point lead for the Hurricanes, 92-89 in the third quarter here, late in the third. Capers trying to take White off the dribble. Williamson now backing out, resetting, swings it to Anderson. Anderson fires. Shot's too strong, a rebound by Friesen.
Joel is playing strong as well as tough. I mean, he's not just shooting well, he's fighting for that rebound and doing some good things. Again, went in there in the traffic and grabbed that ball. I mean, he's really been developed as a player this year. I'm so impressed with that young man that's come from getting cut to being what he's done this year has been incredible.
As Kevin Loisel checked back in for the Hurricanes.
2-time defending champion, another Canadian, another guy from a combine. another guy that played at the college system in Canada.
Yeah.
So you look at that.
So all depths, as you
at
mentioned.
every level. I mean, you just don't know what you're going to get.
Now, talking about level, what about internationally? We talked about some players maybe coming from the ranks on the international stage. Has the league stretched out and expanding in that way?
Well, yeah, I mean, we have a lot of great agents that we work with. Obviously, we found a great international coach in Coach Hugo, and you just don't know. I mean, there's just so many great players out there that it's just a matter of time until we find somebody that's going to get something done. I mean, you got Gibson and Maxwell are both represented by the same agent, Jared Hodges, and he's got players from all over the world.
So there's no limits to find talent for this league. As we have a pushing foul, and it looks like it's on Ryan Anderson as Kevin Loisel try to set a screen here. We have 30.7 seconds left. It's been a back and forth in this third quarter. 94-91.
Man, it's been
Hurricanes
fun.
lead.
It's been fun this quarter. You let me actually talk a little bit.
Well, that's what you're here for, Commissioner.
I'm just kidding.
People want to get an insight on what this league's all about.
This is
as you mentioned, we got people tuning in from all over the world, internationally as well, not only in North America.
I guarantee you there are fans of Akeem Scott in Bolivia that are watching this play. You'd be surprised at how many people are watching this from all over the world.
And Loisel's able to knock down that shot from the charity stripe. So 96-91 now. Anderson trying to hold. Slight difference of 6 seconds between the shot and game clock. Under 10. He's got to go. They got to hurry. Nice alley-oop and emphatic finish with two hands. Beautiful play drawn up by Coach Julius as it was bang on, perfected, and Johnson nails the triple. So just when you thought it was going to be a strong finish to the quarter for the Lightning with that outstanding alley-oop between Williamson and Anderson, Justin Johnson comes back down the other way and knocks down a triple to end the quarter.
And he's been doing that the whole year. I saw him help bring in maybe game 5 or 6 of the year. They came back from 10 down with a minute and a half to go to beat Moncton. And every time they would score, Justin would give him another one. He's a pretty incredible shooter. I think it's time for me to sign off and let the odd man come back and take you home. But thanks for allowing me to be a part of this, Vince. I appreciate it.
No, once again, my pleasure, Commissioner. Commissioner David Magley of the National Basketball League of Canada joining me for that third quarter. So after 3, Hurricanes lead 99-93. Strong finish to the quarter for the Canes as they are able to knock down that shot at the buzzer as Justin Johnson beaten the game clock after a beautiful lob between Garrett Williamson, the beneficiary on the back end of that two-hand emphatic flush, but an outstanding feed from Ryan Anderson. As the Lightning were able to get pull even in that third quarter after the Hurricanes led as much as 11, the largest lead 11 at the 6:35 mark of the third. Been back and forth here in game number 2 at Scotiabank Center. Between these two teams, we have multiple lead changes, 8 in total. And 11 times we have been all square. So we have 12 minutes left to decide who's going to win game number 2. Will it be the Lightning that'll have a stranglehold on this championship finals going back to London for games 3, 4, and 5? Or will the Hurricanes prevail and even up this series at 1 game apiece? Both teams shooting the lights out when it comes to beyond the arc. In the second half, the Lightning 4 for 11, and the Canes 4 for 6 from downtown. Canes winning that quarter 33-30. So 12 minutes to go here. In game number 2, Lightning with possession. Anderson swings it Okori inside the Capers. Capers try the reverse. Drew the contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So the Lightning starting the fourth quarter with Kibbe, Williamson, Capers, Anderson, and Okori. Hurricanes answering with Glover, Friesen, Loisel, Betterman, and Johnson. As Marcus Capers will go to the line to shoot 2. Capers misses the first. Capers 1 for 2 on the night. And his first trip to the charity stripe.
What a third quarter, Vince.
Back and forth. And joining me back again from his rounds around the Scotiabank Center is Audley Stevenson.
I had to say what's up to the people.
And Capers misses both. So a missed opportunity for the Lightning to cut into this lead. 6-point lead for the Hurricanes in the early goings of the fourth, 99-93. Johnson hesitated. High off the window, can't get it to go. Good closeout defensively in the lane, and the Lightning come back the other way. Okori inside the Capers, and he flushes it with 2 hands.
Marcus Capers gets back those 2 missed free throws on the dunk.
So Capers answering on the other end, but a beautiful dish inside. And the dribble penetration once again coming off a miss by the Lightning. Bennerman swings it to Johnson. Johnson trying to get into the defense as Anderson unable to stop him as he's called for the blocking call. That's a foul on Anderson. First team foul and the 4th on Anderson.
I'm still getting over this highest scoring game we got here, Vince. I mean, 99-95 with 11:02 in the fourth. Are you kidding me?
Going back and forth.
Are you kidding me, man?
Both teams with high energy and aggression.
And no defense.
As Shane Gibson comes back for the Hurricanes as Betterman will go to the bench. Gibson swings it over to Friesen. Friesen thought about it. And a good defensive play by Eric Kibbe. Looked like it was last touch by Friesen. Friesen wanted a reach-in call, and Kibbe wanted the last touch off of Friesen.
I think what they're saying is that it was a shot clock.
And it's a shot clock violation, so it works out in the favor of the Lightning.
That it does. 4-point game.
Anderson now, closely guarded by Johnson. He swings it to Williamson. Williamson looking for a screen by Kibbe. Capers now. Back to Okori. Corey inside to Anderson. Anderson trying to back down. Johnson fadeaway's no good. Capers there with the putback.
Capers, Johnny on the spot.
Capers once again sneaking to the offensive board, and he puts the putback. And Capers got 7 on the night.
And a lot of his points are just off the garbage buckets.
2-point game now. Gibson fires and bang, and he knocks down another triple.
And that's far from garbage if you ask Mr. Shane Gibson from the land beyond. 21
Gibson,
on the night.
5 for 8 from downtown. Very hot shooting throughout this game. Anderson tries his shot from beyond the arc, and it doesn't go. Last touch by the Lightning, and forces a timeout by Kyle Julius and the Lightning here as the Hurricanes with a little bit of tempo here and momentum.
Yep. And really, you've got Shane Gibson who just hit a 3. You don't want him. If you're Kyle Julius, you're not wanting him to heat up. There's no way you want him to catch fire in this fourth quarter because he looks like he's ready to blow the roof off this place.
As you mentioned, Gibson trying to blow the roof off this place. I mean, he's been doing a pretty good job throughout this game.
Right.
5 for 8, as we mentioned just before that timeout, knocking down shots from beyond the arc. Not like the same night as game number 1.
No.
Answering and responding.
And this is exactly
the whole
it.
team has answered
Absolutely.
the bell for the Hurricanes.
Vince, they put up 102 points here. I mean, that should tell you something.
We have a lot of basketball to go here in the fourth quarter. Both of these teams. We got an old-fashioned barn burner in a playoff edition.
Man, I thought points in the playoffs were hard to come by.
Well, they're making it look easy. Both of these teams lighten it up. Halftime score 66-63.
Wow. Again, going back to the post-game recap we did last night, a lot was talked about too much points being scored, and I'm going back to the 115 because that number was circled on the chalkboard by Coach Hugo Lopez.
Well, you got a chance to go into the locker room and get that pregame talk between Lopez and his troops.
Yep.
But we talked to in the postgame to Coach Kyle Julius in the Lightning, and he talked about checking off the boxes. Right now,
that's it.
Giving up this amount of points was not on that list.
Well, we're going to have to ask him about that. And to our fans, be sure to check out our post-game recap that Vince and I put together after the show, after the game. Insights galore.
And that's located on the legs as Johnson knocks down the mid-range jumper. And you can find that post-game on the league's webpage.
That's how we do it.
As well as the Facebook page and the Instagram and Tumblr.
We do it all, man.
And that's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Hurricanes.
We do it all.
And it will remain Lightning possession. 16 on the shot, 9:16 left in the fourth in game number 2.
Still lots of time.
Coming live coast to coast on the YouTube channel of the Halifax Hurricanes, as well as coast to coast in Canada on Eastlink TV. And last touch by Glover, and Glover
looks like Glover poked his hand in there.
Exchanging a few words between him and Anderson, but it will remain Lightning possession. 9 seconds now on the shot.
7,
excuse me.
That's why you got me here, buddy.
Scott, spin move in the lane, teardrop,
Wow.
and it goes.
Wow.
Beautiful move, beating the shot clock as he able to spin off of Justin Johnson, drawing the contact, and Akeem Scott has been pretty much Mr. Everything in game number 2 here.
He's had to be. I mean, you're not Akeem Wright, who was a big guy last night. It's not there, so someone's got to pick up the slack between him and Ryan Anderson.
And Scott has 20 on the night. And Johnson, slowly but surely,
he just lows
starting to take things over in the fourth, and he's usually relied on to be that guy down the stretch.
Justin Johnson lulls you with those dribbles, with his penetration.
It's just so difficult to get the ball off him. He's got great ball handling skills.
You know what? I hold my ground and just play the man and not the ball, man, because you're not going to swipe it out of him like that.
Justin Johnson led the team in scoring, coming off the bench at 17 points per game, 6'2", 175 pounds.
Mr. Glover!
And Glover with the
shot.
putback. Johnson from Concordia University in the United States.
Good job, Mr. Mike Glover, being the man on the spot to pick up the loose ball and drop it in. 106-99, 8:15 left here in the fourth quarter.
And Mike Glover in double digits now in the scoring column with 10.
Little spin move in the paint there on the replay. Not bad.
Scott now with possession for the Lightning. Horton checking in the game. Goes to the basket, driving left. Off the window, can't get it to go.
It's a fight. It's
kicked
a loose
around,
ball.
loose ball, and Gibson comes up with it.
Yep.
Gibson gives it to Johnson. Johnson crosses the timeline. Williamson trying to stay close to Johnson.
See, what Halifax wants to do is take their time and run something. We got a quality shot in the process.
And they get just that as they're able to draw the foul on Ed Horton. He's called for the blocking call.
Shot clock gets reset back to 14. You extend the possession.
106-99, 7:42 left as Nick Okori comes back for the Lightning. And Ed Horton will get the gate, and that's his 6th personal. So Horton finishes the night with 14 points, 5 for 8 from the field, but a huge 4 for 6 from distance. So a huge loss
he gave
for
him
Coach Julius.
He gave him the shot in the arm that they needed.
And the Lightning.
Off the bench.
Johnson now. Coming off the screen, closely guarded by Maxwell. Tricky dribble between the legs, inside the Glover. Glover spinning and finishing off the window. So it's turning into the Johnson and Glover show.
Well, it's got to be. It's got to be for Halifax.
108-99 now. 7:21 and counting left in the fourth. Scott driving hard. And he's called for too many steps as he got amongst the trees there.
Well, he heard the big feet of Mike Glover.
Glover
hovering.
Recovering off of that pick and roll, and Ronaldo Dixon stepping in the lane. And we have a mix-up here as Joel Friesen goes flying into the first row. Not sure what happened between him and Nick O'Corey, but play ensues. No call, no harm, no foul.
Keep it moving, keep it moving.
Gibson.
Shane Gibson with the attack. Block at the rim. It looked like there was some contact.
Partially blocked there, and last touch by the Lightning as Gibson remains on the floor. He gets right back up. Gibson. Let's take a look at the replay.
Here we go. He tacked. Okay, so it looks like a
little bit of contact, a collision between him and Marcus Capers.
I think it's one of those situations he came down harder than the contact itself, yeah.
So the officials on the night know the importance of this game number 2.
Absolutely.
Letting them play.
Joel Friesen.
Friesen fires again and bang!
Big
and he connects.
Big three.
Joe Friesen is on fire tonight from beyond the arc. That's number 6. 6 for 9 from downtown. 24 points for Friesen. A bounce-back game for him as he struggled in game number 1. 111-99, and the Hurricanes are slowly but surely starting to roll here.
I can tell you they weren't proud of their performance last night, and they needed to have an outing of this magnitude.
But the thing is, they made no excuses. We had an opportunity to talk to Coach Lopez as well as the team, and they made no excuses for their playing game number 1.
None whatsoever.
And they were looking to respond in back-to-back nights.
In fact, they didn't talk about the break, the long layoff, nothing. Although we asked them, didn't use that as an excuse.
But we got a lot of basketball to be played here in the 4th.
Well,
we're far from finish here. 111-99. Hurricanes continue to lead. Friesen at the rim, and he tried to finish with the two-hand. And he draws the contact on Nick O'Corey.
Joe Friesen.
So Friesen with the blow-by with the left hand. And you can see the contact on the left shoulder by Nick O'Corey.
Yep.
And O'Corey will go to the bench as Marcus Capers checks back in. And that's the 4th on O'Corey and the 4th team foul on the Lightning.
Listen, it wasn't a bad foul, given the fact that it would have blown the roof off this play with the Joel Friesen Captain Canada dunk. Not a bad foul. Make him go to the line and earn it.
Very strong game thus far by Friesen.
At best, he can split a pair now after missing the first one.
Friesen connects on the second, so 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. 25 for Friesen.
Great night for Joel. Great night for Joel.
Responding after game number 1. Hakeem Scott getting into the defense. Can't get the shot to go. Kicked around. Hakeem Wright comes up with it. Wright, spin move in the lane on Gibson. Backs him down, draws the contact, and Hakeem Wright will go to the line to shoot 2. Wright struggling in game number 2 here. 0 for 5 from the field and 0 for 3 from distance, but he's perfect from the charity stripe with 2 points. Not the same offensive output from Hakeem Wright.
And they need him. You know, you look at last night, he was contributing on both sides of the floor. In this series, he cannot take a break either offensively or defensively. He's got to be a big body and hold the bigs of Halifax down low, hold them in check, but he also has to contribute at the other end. We can't afford for him to take a night off.
A big part of the storyline thus far. And he knocks down both. So Wright trying to right the ship as excuse the pun there. He's got 4 on the evening. 11 points now is the deficit for the Lightning. Trying to fight back here and get a stranglehold on this series and go up 2-0. Williamson, good defensive play, knocks it away from Johnson. Coming back the other way in transition as Marcus Capers was able to get An easy opportunity in that run out, but he can't finish at the rim, drawing the contact.
Hey, let's give a shout out to Garrett Williamson. A few minutes ago we talked about the ball handling skills of Justin Johnson. He just showed you and I what we're talking about, man.
That's a rare occasion to see Justin Johnson get the ball taken off him, especially in the fourth quarter when he's been pretty much Mr. Clutch throughout the season.
Great defensive play by Garrett. Shout out to Garrett Williamson doing what he's doing out there.
Definitely putting in work. And Capers can't convert.
We're getting close to that time where, missed free throws are a big deal.
Well, we're just under 6 minutes. And when you get about under 8 minutes, it's definitely winning time in the game of basketball.
He splits it. He misses them both.
He misses both. Missed opportunity. This trip down off of a beautiful defensive play by Garrett Williamson. He's going to try his hand at it again. Justin Johnson swings it to Dixon. Dixon's inside to Glover. Glover trying to back down right. Double team coming late. Glover spins, loses the handle, and Friesen tried to save it on the end line. He couldn't get the job done as Wright forces the turnover.
And again, you look at the double team. That's how they're managing the bigs of Halifax. They're setting the double team, and it's a dangerous play because you're obviously going to leave a shooter open.
And Johnson will go to the bench for the Hurricanes as Clint Scales checks back in. And Ronaldo Dixon trying to close out and cut
a little bit
right
too much body.
Hakeem Scott off to the rim, and that's a blocking call on Ronaldo Dixon.
Just a little bit too much body.
And Hunt will check back in for Dixon.
Here we go.
And Anderson will check back for Capers for the Lightning.
It's closing time.
So multiple changes, and as well as, and it looks like mixed communication between Glover and his head coach Lopez, as Glover thought he was being checked out as Dixon went to the bench instead.
Well, you got a lot of size now, so those quick lineups don't matter no more.
Williamson to the rim.
Garrett
and he draws the contact. And he'll go to the line to shoot two. 112 to 101, 5:11 left. As Billy White will come back. And now Mike Glover will go to the bench for the Hurricanes. Williamson to shoot two. Williamson with a very strong game defensively, and at times he's been
called
upon to score points as well.
He's called on to do so much. He's Mr. Everything, almost like a Swiss Army knife. A little bit of everything in the pocket of Garrett Williamson.
He's perfect from the charity stripe, knocks down all 6, and that's 8 on the night for Williamson.
9-point game, 5 minutes.
Clint Scales now across the timeline. Swings it to Gibson. Gibson trying to take Scott off the dribble. Swings it back to Clint Scales. Clint Scales looking for a screen. Clint Scales, hesitation on Wright. And Wright did an outstanding job of staying in front of Clint Scales, and he lost his footing and forces the turnover. Scott now coming back the other way. Anderson with the dribble handoff. Wright thought about it. Scott fires, drills it. Shot short is stuck. That shot is stuck between the backboard.
We need that broomstick. Get the broomstick. We need the broomstick.
So unlucky there by Hakeem Scott. He had a wide open look from distance. Unable to convert. It's a turnover, and it will be possession arrow that will favor the Hurricanes, and timeout on the floor as they trail 112 to 103 in the fourth quarter in game number 2.
Again, there's always lots of things to take away from games, and certainly you got to look at the points and the points given up. Halifax lost game 1, 115 to 110. They've got 112 here, and you still got 4 and change left in this game, Vince.
Lots of time left, a lot of opportunity for the Lightning in the battle back here. But the Hurricanes doing a good job defensively. We spoke about that 115 mark.
Yes, we did.
103, so they're well within that 115 mark of not allowing the Lightning that 115. In essence, we talked about it, that 115 spells disaster. It
Absolutely.
only happened twice.
Yes.
But when it happened,
it's not to
a
their
good
liking.
omen.
It's not to their liking. And you know what? Well, the numbers are, the way it's looking now, London might reach that 115 mark tonight, but
they might be on the other end of the ledger when it comes to wins and losses.
It will. We'll see how it goes. Still lots of time.
Can't afford to trade baskets here.
You do not want to.
The Lightning need some timely stops, and that was probably the emphasis, the key emphasis, when Coach Kyle Julius called that timeout. We need some stops, and we need to knock down some shots.
Right.
So lots of time left. 4:30
and when you look
counting.
And when you look at the Lightning lineup, they probably got the best defensive stoppers in the game right now. So this is about defense and slowing guys down.
Clint Scales try to connect on the lob between him and Hunt looked like he got undercut by Garrett Williamson.
Look, from our vantage point, I'm not sure it's as clear as that, but the ref was a lot closer than you and I. So we only could assume that he saw something we missed.
Very consistent officiating tonight by this playoff crew.
For sure. Great job on the crew tonight.
Kyle Hunt knocks down the first.
Shout out to Director of Officials Mike Falloon. I'm sure he's smiling right now at the job his crew is doing.
The official of the year, John Hunt. The crew chief, Ryan Lutz, and Brent Stalker have been outstanding this evening in game number 2.
They've done their job. Considering all the chippiness and the physical play.
Hunt knocks down both. An emphatic finish at the rim. Connecting once again. Garrett Williamson, the beneficiary of a beautiful lob pass by Ryan Anderson.
We saw a similar play to the end before third play. Yep.
Same spot, but just a little bit closer.
Absolutely.
And the degree of difficulty was a whole lot more for Ryan Anderson as he knifed inside
he's
the
going
heart
for
of the
traffic.
defense.
Absolutely, there's traffic there, for sure.
114 to 105. Hunt now rolling back towards the rim, and he draws the contact on Akeem Wright. And Hunt will go to the line to shoot 2. That's Wright's 4th. 7th team foul for the Lightning. So the Hurricanes will be in the penalty the rest of the way. 3:57 left. Hunt knocks down the first.
And it's about free throws. We saw last night the Halifax Hurricanes struggle from free throw shooting tonight. Much different story. 23 out of 27. Make that 24 out of 28. Make that 25 out of 29.
And make that 18 for Kyle Hunt. Scott racing back the other way with the quickness. Inside the Maxwell. Maxwell couldn't get the first one to go, but he gets the tap back to go as well.
He doesn't give up on it. Yeah, and you
Quick
don't give
off
up
the
on
floor
it.
is Stephen Maxwell.
You don't give up on it.
Great athleticism displayed by Maxwell on that trip down. And Williamson not happy with the call, more so than unhappy with himself out of that defensive effort.
Absolutely. It was close. And Garrett's putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers, and he has to.
Clint Scales now. Gets a screen from Hunt. Hunt rolls back towards the rim. Clint Scales fires and bang!
Pops it.
And he connects from
Big
Sydney,
three.
Nova Scotia.
Big
Clint Scales,
three.
huge three down the stretch here.
Hugo Lopez liked that one.
And a good defensive play back the other way by Friesen.
There we go.
Canes have numbers. Kicked around.
Managed
Still
to save
have
it.
possession.
Managed to save it.
Good defensive
Take your time.
transition play by the Lightning. Getting back, not allowing that easy run out. Clint Scales now fires again from distance. Shot off the
Rolls in and
backboard,
out.
almost went in. And it looks like it's last touch by the Lightning.
Kyle Hunt will be going to the line.
We got a foul, we got a hold.
That's it. And we talk about the benefits of getting the team in bonus early. We saw Clint Scales 3 to get the crowd hype. Another one here's where we got called. Kyle Hunt with the hold, battling with Akeem Scott.
Akeem Scott a call for that hold as it looked like he was holding on to the right wrist of Kyle Hunt.
Well, he's outmatched. He's outsized down there. You got to do something to even things up a bit.
Hunt will go to the line to shoot 2. Hunt, very strong game offensively for the Canes. Hunt knocks down the second, so that's 20 on the night for Hunt.
14-point lead.
And Garrett
attack
Williamson
right off the bounce.
attacking the
right
rim.
away. We got to go. It's go time.
And a foul call on Billy White. So Williamson will go to the line to shoot two. 121 to 107. 2:53 left in the fourth.
You know, there's never a shortage of fun down here, Vince. I got to tell you.
I'm glad you're having fun. So am I.
Well, you're such a great host. Every time I come to Halifax, you take care of me.
And Williamson misses the first. Williamson, perfect from the field, 5 for 5. But he's not perfect from the free throw line as he misses both. But he gets the rebound.
Crucial.
Kicks it out the right. Second chance opportunity in this trip. Anderson fires. Too much, too strong, and rebound by Johnson. So the Canes dodge a bullet there as they're able to get that defensive rebound.
Garrett Williamson is putting in work, no doubt about that. Now Halifax will take their time. They're not, clock.
In no hurry right now.
No rush.
Clint Scales splitting the defense.
Johnson
fires, misses. Rebound by Johnson.
Rebound.
Williamson on a run out and an easy deuce and layup. The easiest point he's got
absolutely
all night long.
Garrett Williamson needs a timeout.
As Julius
he's expended.
Calls a timeout. So 2:06 left, 121-109 left in this fourth quarter. Hurricanes responding here in the fourth. A very strong fourth quarter, knocking down shots and getting timely stops. Canes shooting just under 60% from the field. It's been part of the storyline in their success this evening. 52% from beyond the arc, 13 for 25 from distance. 26, much improved shooting. On the other side, the Lightning, 49% from the field and 38% from downtown, knocking down 12 of 31. But they've had their issues from the charity stripe, 25 for 35. On the other side, a much improved output from the charity stripe from the Hurricanes, 30 for 35. And they've gotten to the line quite frequently in this fourth quarter as the Lightning in the penalty around the 5-minute mark of this fourth. Both teams doing an outstanding job of not turning it over.
They're definitely taking care of it. It's this is the mirror opposite game of what we saw last night,
but we can see, we take a look at the analytics and the stats, the game-running stats. Not much difference in the separation. More bench scoring from the London Lightning.
Marginally, yeah. There's a very even game from that regard. So
but it's been spurts. It's been the key for the Hurricanes. They've been able to take advantage of knocking down shots from the field. Johnson now, bottled up in the Hunt. Hunt double
2 seconds on the clock. They got to recognize it.
And Hunt with a good job of spinning away from that double team.
Just to beat the shot clock.
And finding Billy White underneath the basket. And Hunt.
With the clock stopped.
It looks like the foul call is on Joel Friesen. That's his fourth. And that's the Hurricanes' 7th. So Williamson will go to the line to shoot 2.
Joel Friesen got caught on the reach-in.
Both teams in the penalty now. 1:37 left in the fourth. Williamson knocks them down.
Gets them both. We got a 12-point game.
123 to 111.
$1:37 left, so you bring in Shane Gibson to ice this thing.
Gibson coming back for the Canes.
Yeah, drink some water there, buddy.
As Billy White will exit for Coach Lopez. So a conversation continuing.
Absolutely.
Between crew chief John Hunt and head coach Kyle Julius of the Lightning.
Refer to him as referee of the year from now on, buddy.
Clint Scales crosses the timeline. Closely guarded by Anderson. Swings it to Gibson. Gibson fires.
Bam.
Bang! And he connects once again from downtown.
And I said, you want to ice the game and you finish it off, and that's where you go.
Looked like he wasn't going to rise and take that jumper, but the closeout came late by Akeem Scott as he got bottled up by multiple
So why not put another one?
Bang, and he misses that one.
You wanted that one. You wanted that one.
Rims out as Ward grabs the rebound. Wright coming back the other way. Wright with the left hand.
Great move by Akeem Wright.
And a rare make on the night by Akeem Wright.
A little late for Akeem Wright.
As we're under a minute now. Hurricanes are in no hurry.
None at all.
In
None
this
at all.
possession as they continue to lead 126-113. Clint Scales, closely guarded by Wright. Takes him off the dribble. Freezing. Bang!
Joel Freeze.
Connects
Joel
from
Freeze
downtown.
with the big three.
Joel Friesen has definitely been the storyline tonight from beyond the arc. And the putback is there by Anderson. And Anderson will go to the line for the Lightning. And we're just trying to figure out what's going on as Cam Bennerman trying to check in the game for Shane Gibson.
Did Shane foul out?
That's number 6 on Gibson. But Gibson exit this game.
He certainly
with
made a
strong
splash.
offensive game. 8 for 14 from the field, 6 for 10 from downtown, finishing the night up with 24 points. A response from Shane Gibson.
You know, a very different game when he's hitting his shots, isn't it?
And Anderson misses the first. Joel Friesen with a very strong night as well. 8 for 12 from the field, 7 for 10 from downtown with 28 points.
Again, when you're getting that kind of production, you look at, again, this game was a polar opposite of what we saw last night, and thankfully for the Halifax Hurricanes, it is.
No doubt, Joel Friesen's best game as a professional in this league.
And it couldn't come at a better time. This was their Game 7. They could not afford. We talked about this last night. They absolutely could not afford to go down 2-0 going to London for 3.
Scott with the inbound. Finger rolls no good by Anderson, but he gets the putback. 21.5 seconds left now in the fourth. Dangerous pass, but it's corralled. Alley-oop and finish at the rim with the exclamation point.
That is it. That is it, folks.
Connection between Betterman and Hunt.
Again, you leak out.
And a response by Williamson on the oop.
A little too late. This series is all tied up at 1, so why not do it again?
Back-to-back hoop showtime by the Canes as they will close this one out and capture game number 2. And even this series up. Shots no good by Williamson. And his last touch by the Canes. And last touch by the Lightning. So, 2.4 seconds left. And we still need the inbound to make this game official. And there it is. As Betterman has it and dribbles out this game in the fourth as the Canes even up the series 1-1. Heading back for games number 3, 4, and 5 as they capture this number 2. And we have a little bit of a lot of chatter here between the two teams at the half-court line. As you can see, both of these teams want this championship, but that's a final, 133-119. So, heading back to London for games 3, 4, and 5. The Hurricanes even up the series. So that'll do it for my partners, Audley Stevenson and the commissioner, David Magley. I'm Vince Williams saying so long from Scotiabank Center.